Welcome back, guys, for another episode of my Manchester United career on FIFA 15. And for this episode, I'm not going to be doing a live commentary. I'm going to be talking over the top of the gameplay in the background, talking about Manchester United in real life, sharing my thoughts and my opinions with you guys. So it's going to be a throwback episode to when I did my United career on FIFA 14, and I think towards the end of my FIFA 13 career as well. Now, before I get started, the games you're going to see in this episode is this one against Inter Milan, the first leg of the quarterfinals in the Champions League. And then we've got an FA Cup fixture against Aston Villa. Can we advance through to the next round? Do stay tuned to see that. And we finish up with a Premier League game against Fulham. We need to continue our dominance in the Premier League as we get closer and closer to the end of the season, and maybe bring back that Premier League trophy back where it belongs, because Chelsea won it last season. I won it in my first season, but I want to bring it back, and we're so close to it now. So do stay tuned for that. So anyway, let's talk Manchester United. It's been a while, hasn't it? And just quickly, if you didn't know, I do tweet about Man United as the game is going on and what my thoughts are. And if you're not following me on Twitter, you can find the link in the description. So Sunday has come and it's gone. Manchester United dropped all 3 points at Old Trafford against Southampton. We lost 1-0. Now, not only did we lose 1-0 and those 3 points, but it was the first time United had lost at Old Trafford against Southampton in 27 years, was it? Something like that. It was when Sir Alex was in charge, or when he just become Manchester United manager. It shouldn't be happening, folks. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that that record didn't go out the window last season when David Moyes was in charge. I'm surprised it took till now for Southampton to come and break that record. And to top it all off, our unbeaten run of 10 games. We would have made it 11 if we had have beaten Southampton yesterday. We had that taken away from us, which, you know, it's disappointing. Of course it is, because the players, they're going to be feeling it. Momentum kind of lost, maybe. If we can pick ourselves up against QPR, which is our next game in the Premier League, and we should be able to, because we thrashed them 4-0 at the start of the season, and now they're going through a bit of a rut still, battling it out just above the relegation zone there. It's not looking good for Harry Redknapp, but that completely goes out the window, because when Man United are in town, it's almost like a cup final, and the team plays to their very best. They want to get a result against one of the biggest teams in the world, which is fair enough. You would want that as a fan of that particular team, whether it be QPR or Yeovil. But you know, that's Man United's job then, to turn up and get the job done and knock them back a peg or two and show them who's boss, basically. Whereas we haven't been doing that lately. We've been taking it on the chin and saying, yeah, come at us, attack us, and we'll put our poor defence to the test, see what they're up against, see how they can get on. Good game plan. And I mean, this passing back to De Gea nonsense. If you guys remember way back when Moyes was in charge, I mentioned this in my FIFA 14 videos, it's gotta stop, because not only are you putting pressure on De Gea, and I think De Gea, as he's come out recently, hasn't he, over the last couple of months, saying, you know, with the problems with United's back four, it's made him a better goalkeeper. He's had to become more alert. But that's not good. That's not how it should be. The defence are there to defend the goalkeeper. You know, it's so much pressure on De Gea. And yes, we've got the best out of De Gea, and that is fantastic to see. But Manchester United shouldn't be performing like this. It is disgraceful to see. And yesterday against Southampton, at Old Trafford of all places, which has been known as a fortress in the past when Sir Alex was in charge, we failed to get one shot on target. That's just not good enough. And I think it comes down, well, I've heard a lot of people saying, oh, you know, Van Gaal, he needs to change this formation, his system, his philosophy. And I think I've got to agree. I thought when we had pre-season and the first couple of games of the new Premier League season, with Van Gaal in charge, I thought, you know what, this is good. It's good for change as well at Old Trafford. I think we could get quite a few good results. We can dominate some of the teams as well in the Premier League with this formation. We saw what he did at the World Cup with Holland, using that same system. But it just hasn't worked out at United. We need to be switching back to 4 at the back now, I believe. and just go from there. And I think it'd make our defence a little stronger, and it wouldn't be putting too much work on the wing backs, which in yesterday's case was Valencia and Luke Shaw. Shaw had to go off, whether he picked up an injury or was just suffering from tiredness, having to run up and down that touchline. I didn't think he had an injury. He wasn't limping off or anything. I think he looked absolutely knackered yesterday when he came off the pitch. And that just goes to show that those players that are in that position, the wing-back, are being overworked. I hate to say it, but I don't see Van Gaal scrapping this system, this 3-5-2. I know the majority of people, they want to see 4 at the back again, maybe 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, it doesn't matter, as long as there's 4 at the back. But I don't see him scrapping it because of his arrogance and just the way Van Gaal is. I kind of feel sorry for Ryan Giggs as well. He's sat next to Van Gaal, and you can see him sometimes biting his nails, and you can just tell what Giggs is thinking. He's like, if I was in charge, this wouldn't be happening. I would have 4 at the back, and Manchester United would be attack, 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 just like the old United. You saw it enough when Giggs took over for the last 4 games last season when Moyes was sacked. He sent the team out to play with speed and aggression like the old Manchester United. That's what we need to find again. But I don't think we're going to be seeing that for maybe another 2 seasons, because wasn't it? I think Van Gaal said that he was only planning to stay for 3 years, something like that, until he retires, and then maybe Giggs takes over. Who knows what will happen? But I suppose we're just going to have to stick with it as United fans and trust in Van Gaal. I think, to be fair, we've done okay. I mean, we're in the top 4, which is the main thing this season, to be getting Champions League football for next season. That's the main priority, and we're on course for it. We just need to tighten up those performances and make sure that we are coming away with comfortable wins. Now let's talk about transfers, because the transfer window is open, because it's January, of course, and United's already made their first array into the market, bringing in Valdez on a free. I think that's a good signing at the age of 32, 31, 32. I think he's 32. I think he's a quality keeper. But let's be fair, he's going to be warming that bench more than actually playing in between the sticks for United this season, because De Gea has been phenomenal. And yes, there's been a lot of speculation now that Valdez has come in that De Gea will be leaving in the summer for Real Madrid. I don't think that's the case. I think De Gea is going to be staying, folks. I think it was just Van Gaal bringing in Valdez because he was on a free and that he's a quality keeper, and that Van Gaal wants depth on his bench. Unfortunately, that will probably be the end of Lindegaard as well at United. But who knows? Maybe Van Gaal will keep on Lindegaard. Maybe Lindegaard will be happy to stay at United and not be picked for first team football. But realistically, I can see Lindegaard going, whether it be January or in the summer. Also, there's been a lot of speculation because yesterday when we played Southampton, Falcao didn't start, and Van Gaal's reasoning behind that was because Falcao had started the majority of the games over the Christmas period and needed a rest. But then I read this article, I will try and find it again and put the link in the description below, that Falcao had watched the United game alone, so he was sat with no other United players up in the stands, and that he stormed out halfway through the second half. I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but if it is, then something's going on, and I can imagine it being a falling out with Van Gaal over Falcao's recent performances, because he's not his usual self. As we know, he's normally a striker, on top of his game, he's normally a striker that's bagging over 30 goals a season, right? Now Falcao, he's had plenty of time, plenty of opportunities over the Christmas period to grab a couple of goals here and there and try and show that you want to stay at United. He's come out and said that he's enjoying his time at United, wants to sign a permanent deal. But why would Van Gaal, why would Woodward, why would Manchester United want to spend 40 million on a player that's not his usual self, that's not scoring crucial goals? So maybe if Falcao hasn't had a falling out, maybe we should get him on a loan for next season, bring him in, because as we know, when he came on loan, he was suffering from that injury or just getting back to fitness, and then he suffered another one. If we could get him at full fitness for a whole season, then I think we'll see a bit of a difference. But it certainly is a risk to be taken if if Van Gaal decides to sign Falcao up on a permanent deal at the end of this season in the summer. I suppose we can just wait and see. Our next game is against QPR. They're not having the best of times, battling it out in relegation, as I've probably already mentioned. So I think we can pick ourselves up there with a good win, because we thrashed them, didn't we, at Old Trafford earlier in the season, 4-0. Win there, and we'll get back on track and make sure that we're still in the top 3, top 4 come the end of the season. Anyway, that's going to be about it. Hope you guys have enjoyed listening to my thoughts and opinions, because I know it's not very often nowadays that you do, unless you follow me on Twitter. The link can be found in the description below. And also, guys, let me know what you think about the topics that I've discussed in this episode in the comment section below. I look forward to reading them and replying as well. And finally, I hope you guys have enjoyed the highlights from this video. In the next one, I play Liverpool in the Capital One Cup final. See you there.